Welcome to the Balls Not Court podcast. Cortez Paul's here.
Welcome to the final
2014
Balls in Your Court podcast.
It's been the inaugural season of Balls Not Court podcast has been a success.
It's been wonderful. We're still got a lot to go, but we're glad we're at. We're still episodes in the year, and so it's been a pleasure having.
And we only started in
February.
Yep, right after the All-Star game. So
yep,
66 in a year, not bad.
Not bad. So I got Kevin Carter here as well, and I got John Orr joining us today. So how you doing today, Mr. Orr?
I am here, ready to go.
Right. He's in a cave.
Well, hey, good to have both of y'all gentlemen on here. I know y'all had things with your families, but y'all
It's
took
called
a brief
eating.
moment.
It's called eating.
Yep, it was definitely called eating. It was steak night at the Orr house, so I was definitely, as much as I'd like a salad here and there, you don't wake friends with salad.
You know.
So he didn't mean to catch on, Cortez. It's just catchy.
It's all good, man. All right, let's
It's
talk.
catchy. Oh.
All right, let's get right into it because, as you know, Black Monday has happened with a lot of
Hey,
coaches,
it's African American Monday.
where coaches get their pink slips as far as they.
Now, why do they call it Pink Monday?
I don't know why. It's weird, but I'm just going on what I see.
Racist.
All right, so let's talk about Jim Harbaugh. Just got hired by Michigan.
Yep.
And pretty much he's getting paid as a bargain right now because everybody was cutting his contact coach.
$5 million a year
$5 million, and it's
with incentives.
7 years, and I got the incentive listed here. So we ought to listen to a little bit of his press conference. He's decided to be back at his alma mater,
$5 million a year.
where he played quarterback at. I want to say the years 1983 to 1986.
$5 million a year.
So I guess I want to get y'all thoughts about the hire and discussions. And go ahead, Ken. What you think about this hire?
Now, all of Michigan's happy to have him. So that and he will recruit, and people will want to go play for him. So it's a good hire on all ends. It's just how much of a building block does he have with the people that's left in Michigan right now? Mm-hmm. So who knows how long it's going to take him to get everything back? But he still is a very solid coach. Very, very solid coach.
All right, your thoughts on this, John, the hire?
The worst kept secret in sports.
Yeah.
I think we knew in about week 13, Harbaugh was going to Michigan. The Raiders' job was just a decoy. I really think that I think it'll be good. I think he's better fit for college. His personality,
Yep.
He's like Greg Schiano. His personality does not warrant him to coach professionals. He's a little bit too intense, too in your face. Mm-hmm. You've seen that with him rubbing people the wrong way. In the pros, from Jim Schwartz to Vernon Davis to Pete Carroll. He's rubbed people the wrong way. I think he's a fit for college.
All right, well, I want to ask y'all a question before we go into our fill in the blank segment. I mean, he was successful as a football coach or NFL coach.
Oh, God, yeah.
44 wins, 19 losses, had NFC championship appearances. He actually went to the Super Bowl. And so, I mean, it's apparent that he can coach the NFL, but like y'all both say, he's pretty much a better fit for college. But, I mean, I guess the Oakland Raiders job is kind of a mess to deal with in the first place with that organization.
Well, he's better dealt for college, just like John said. He has that come-offish attitude that doesn't work with people that are getting paid millions of dollars. It works better with college kids because they want to listen and learn. And when you're that kind of way with them, they tend to listen and learn better. But when you go with these guys that are already making $gajillion, you can't do that with them. So he's built a lot better to do with college. But he did succeed in San Francisco because San Francisco had really good teams when he was there.
Fantastic.
You know who he reminds me of in a way? Kind of like Larry Brown in the NBA. Wherever he has gone, he's turned them around quickly. Mm-hmm. He went to Stanford, had a 1-11 year at Stanford. The following year, he upset USC. Before you know it, Stanford was on the way up.
Yep.
Went to San Francisco, who was struggling. I believe they had just released Mike Singletary as their head coach.
Yep.
He comes in 3 years. 3 NFC championship games.
Yep.
Can't argue, and a Super Bowl, which he lost, but he got a young team there with a young quarterback. Mm-hmm. Now all the things that happened in San Francisco were his fault. They want to blame him a lot for the team see this gentleman getting in trouble. You can't blame him for that. The huge deal with Kaepernick, we said at the beginning of the year he didn't deserve Colin Kaepernick money.
Nope.
But I really think that, and I believe that Harbaugh is fit for college. I don't think, and I'll even go as far as to say you will never, ever see Jim Harbaugh on the NFL sideline again.
I think now that he went back, he's going to Nick Saban it and stay in college. I think he will.
What did y'all think about his contract? Because he could have got paid more, and the fact that he said he was more concerned with the pay of his assistants.
Yeah, because he wants to bring in top end guys. So he wants to be able to bring in those top end guys, which I applaud him for. Good for him wanting to bring in these guys. And who wouldn't want to go play for him and a bunch of his assistants that have NFL experience? Who wouldn't want to go and learn from those guys if you're wanting to come into college football? Now he's going to be able to recruit everywhere because they now have a guy that'll be able to go out and go up against the Sabans and the Myers and everything like that, and go into. You have Jim Harbaugh come into your house and come into your living room to talk to you. You're going to listen. So now you got that presence about him now. All because of the years in pro, he's got that presence about him now.
Your thoughts on that, John, about him taking the less pay because he's more concerned with the pay of his assistants?
I call shenanigans. He's been so extremely vilified this year with the way he's handled his team and in years past. He's usually been vilified at Stanford for running up the score in times he shouldn't have been, especially against USC. The issue is people thinking that Michigan is going to come in next year and just be a success.
Oh, no.
And compete for the national championship.
No.
You got a few years. You got to look at it because over the past 6 years, Brady Hoke and Rich Rodriguez depleted Michigan.
Exactly.
So you've got to think these incoming recruits, the last year's recruiting class, they're still going to be there. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not going to say they all can't play in Harbaugh's system, but they were not players for Harbaugh's system. Exactly. It's going to take Harbaugh a little time to get in there and get it going right. His first season at Stanford, he had 1 win. I'm not saying it's going to be that bad, but if you think they're going to go into the Big Ten and automatically compete with an Ohio State and compete with a Wisconsin, you're going to be disappointed if you're a Michigan fan. Will they get competitive slowly? Yes. I think they'll eventually get competitive slowly, but it's not going to be an overnight. This time next year, we're not talking about Michigan playing in a bowl game for a championship. It's not going to be happening.
Yeah, their cupboard is not full. There's some rice over here and some noodles, but their cupboard's definitely not full. So they got to get that cupboard full. It wasn't like when Urban Meyer was rolling in where Ron Zook recruited his tail off and had all this talent at Florida, and Urban was able to win with that talent. It's not like that because there's not a lot of talent at Michigan right now. So he's got to come in, he's got to develop his ways, and he's got to bring in his people.
And it still took Urban Meyer a year.
Yeah, it still
took him a year. He came in at the end of the 2005 season. Chris Leak had already been established here as a quarterback. He came in Leak's junior year.
Yep.
Chris Leak, who is arguably one of the most underrated college quarterbacks in history.
Oh yeah, definitely.
As much as I'm not a fan of the Florida Gators, Chris Leak is the only reason Chris Leak doesn't get talked about as the greatest college Gator quarterback was who preceded him.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
He's still the all-time leading pass leader.
Yeah, Chris Leak, he came in with a good quarterback.
Yeah, he was.
Very good. Ron Zook did not get the credit he deserved for building that team.
Oh, no.
Which kind of leaves me a little bitter, but it's not going to be an overnight change.
Oh, no.
These things take time. I will refer, maybe I'm biased, I'll refer to the University of Arkansas and Brett Bielema. They brought Bielema in, and the first year he didn't win an SEC game. He was 3-9 as a coach. But once he started getting his players around him and got his system plugged in like he had at Wisconsin, They were competitive this year.
Yeah.
I think I give Harbaugh 3 years before Michigan is back to being Michigan. If you know what I mean.
Thank you. So did John know where it would take Harbaugh 3 seasons to get his first winning season in Michigan? Mr. Carter, what's your
I think he'll have a winning season. I think he'll still have a 500 seasons. I still think he'll have a winning season this year, but it's not going to be that winning season to where we think he's going to the national championship.
No, you misunderstood me, Cortez.
Oh yeah.
No, that's what I meant.
I could see him being 6-6 this year.
Yeah, they'll
7. But I'm talking 2-3 years from now. We're talking 10
till they're competing.
Till
they're competing for a national championship. Mm-hmm. It's going to be. I give him 2 or 3 years, like John said as well. He's got to get those people in, and then once you see it start building, then you'll know.
Okay. It's going to take 2 or 3 years before that game on the last Saturday in November means anything.
Exactly.
Again.
Before Michigan, Ohio State is going to be the game of the year.
Gotcha. I'm saying
to see who goes to a bowl game.
I'm saying about 2 seasons. I can see him getting a 7-win season in the second year. Get a little bit of talent in there, get that started up, and then I think year 3 you'll probably see 10 wins, something like that.
Well, they'll have a couple more wins this year,
right?
I think, just with him coming in, I think they'll get a couple more this year than they had last year.
All right, let's go into this segment, fill in the blank. We'll go on to who will get hired in the coaching field as far as a coordinator or some type of
Trestman,
Marc Trestman. Or you want to go with Mike Smith? Who you got, Kevin?
I'm going with Trestman. He's going to be the new offensive coordinator of the Jaguars. Jaguars today fired the offensive coordinator, which is no surprise to anybody. I've been calling for it for a while. So him and Gus Bradley are pretty good friends. So I think they're the first person he calls.
Maybe Marcus Arroyo will get his walking papers today as well.
Yeah. And the Bucks turned down coaching the Senior Bowl.
Did they?
Why would they?
They turned down.
They couldn't coach the pros. Why the hell would you want to coach the?
Yeah,
don't get me started on Sunday's game.
Because they give the first. We'll do that. But they give the first 2 picks, the first 2 people that are picking 1 and 2 in the draft. They give them first dibs on coaching the Senior Bowl. Tennessee's doing it. The Bucks didn't want to do it, and then Jacksonville took it. Because Jacksonville last year drafted 4 people from the Senior Bowl. All of them started. Well, all of them had to start.
All right.
Don't get me started on the state of coaching in Tampa.
I think Mike Smith will take a year off. Mm-hmm. I think Smith will probably take a year off just to reload. But I think Trestman will end up being here.
I got to agree with Kevin. Smith didn't have a signature. If you look at coaches over time, they all have a signature. When you think of Tony Dungy, what's his signature? Defense. Exactly. When you think of Bill Walsh, what was his signature? Offense. When you think of Mike Smith,
special teams. No, I'm just kidding.
Really? I could see Trestman taking a coordinator job or maybe a quarterback's coach job somewhere, but if Smith shows up again, it'll be in college. I don't think Smith will be in the NFL for a while. I think he might drop down to the college ranks and try his hand.
I think he'll get a defensive coordinator job. I just don't think it'll be this coming up year. I think he'll take a year off just to reload. But he did a good job with Atlanta, except for the last 2 years. But he did a really good job with Atlanta before.
He just couldn't get over.
He couldn't get over the hump.
Yeah. You look at his record: 66 and 46, and then the year where they was 13-3, where they was pretty much in the NFC Championship, right?
Yeah, they had a good, solid team. He had the quarterback and everything like that. They just could never make that next step for whatever reason.
The thing I will always criticize Mike Smith for is he doesn't adjust well. He would not